Hey, Heidi here, and welcome to the Paint Party Cow, where we are going to be blinging our cow. Now, I have named mine Piper. If you want the free tracer for this cute cow, go ahead and go to paintpartycow.com. You can grab the free tracer. If you would like all 10 videos, actually over 10 videos for just $10, on the thank you page of that, you can grab all 10 videos, actually over 10 videos, where I'm teaching you how to trace it, how to do background textures, color blocking, layering the hair, blending colors, the eyes, adding flowers, goof ups, highlighting in detail, and even blinging it. And then we also have a video on how you can make it into different seasons. So I wanted to share several ways to bling your cow. Now, first I want to just say, if you're doing this for yourself, you can get totally crazy, right? You can bring, I have, especially if you have a craft room, you probably have bought every single type of blinging type thing like I have. So if you have a craft room and you have done that, feel free to grab whatever you want and have some fun with it. If you're doing this for a specific paint party, you want to be specific about how you choose, because if you teach it and you have this glitter, it's going to cost you something, where you might have a cheaper glitter that would cost you $1 something. So you just want to be cautious so that whatever you're blinging it with, and you're doing it in a paint party setting, you can justify those costs to have it for everyone else. For example, around Christmas, I'll do snow text, and I'll add a ton of snow text. So let's just have some fun. I'm going to show you some different types of glitter glue. So this one's a holographic illusions. Then we also have just like the craft twinkles, which is just really bright. Now this one, it's funny because this one looks like it's brighter, but this one, when it dries, is way brighter, which is crazy. So the holographic illusions give it like a really good sheen. Then we have a gold one that's really fun. And you can get these in any color you want. Also, another fun thing to use is these are, from Recollections, they're almost like little diamonds. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll put like a heart or something in glue. You can use Elmer's glue. You can use a tacky glue, or even just a part of something and add some of that diamond dust on there. You can do the same thing with sequins. And then another fun way are these brilliant turquoise metallic lusters. Now you can see I have had some fun with these. I actually finger paint with them. So I'm going to just grab it and add on some of this metallic luster just in certain areas. And what this does is just brings in that texture. And I know we talked in an earlier video about texture. So if you want to see that, you can purchase all the videos for just 10 bucks, but just adding that texture and making your painting just kind of stand out. Almost have this background as abstract in any colors you want. Even earlier on in one of the videos, I talked about how you can make this whole cow pink and how cool that would look if you had done a pink cow in different shades and just all the variations. So while we're adding our glitter and our textures, let's go ahead and just take a deep breath, like we've been doing on all our videos. Deep breath in. All right, deep breath out. And just being thankful. This is a cheaper glitter, Craft Twinkles, that I use at almost all my paint parties. And just being thankful that we get to do what we get to do. How cool is this, right? How cool is it that we can not only use creativity to paint, but also if we want to use it to make money. So thankful for that. For those of y'all that don't know my story, lost everything, went bankrupt, lost everything, and had to start again. And as a teacher and making $22,000 a year, it was a terrifying spot to be in. But I remember one day, and I'm just adding the craft twinkles to some of these bangs here. And I remember, using art to heal. And I think that's why my passion is so big about using art to heal and how it can help you. And so I was basically going through a depression, feeling like, how could I fail so much before I was 30 and lose my house, lose my car, lose everything. and had a, little baby. I mean, could you imagine, not only is it scary, but then when you add a kid in there too, it's terrifying. And so I started, painting these little mini surfboards to kind of heal. I have them right here actually. Um, this is one that I had Pixie paint. This is one I had Pixie paint when she was little bitty, and she put her handprints, and I wrote Pixie loves Mimi, and we gave it to my mom. And hand painted by Pixie, May of 2009. That was the first name of my very first business. My soul is yours. And so we lost my mom, and my dad gave this back to me, and I'm going to cherish it forever. But that was, doing these surfboards where, people would, I just paint them. But what happened was people wanted their names on them. They wanted me to paint them a surfboard and put their name on it. And what happened was it ended up, turning into this business. And the first day we had set up, I remember just, not just terrified. We had in Panama City Beach, we had talked to, me and my mother-in-law had talked to the place of the Pier Park, and we asked, if we could rent just basically a concrete 10 by 10. I still visit it when I go to Panama City Beach, when I go back and see friends and family, and we still visit it. And it's so sentimental to me because we didn't know what was going to happen. And when I first started selling these, nobody was buying them. And then there was a moment when I went to Buffalo Wild Wings. I remember my mother-in-law sensing my frustration and said, "Hey, let's go get a drink." And I'm like, okay, because what do you do when you failed so many times, right? You go have a drink. I'm not saying it's the right thing, but that's what I did at the moment. And so a couple drinks in, I'm like, this was my plan B. I've already lost my house. I've already moved, our family's moved to an apartment. We don't have, our cars, like all of these things. Pixie's room that we had built for her, and I'd hand painted murals for her, like no more, right? Gone. And now this business was a failure too. What was I going to do? And just being so sad about all of it, and not realizing in my in my late 20s, really, that life is about many chances. Life's about over and over chances. At that time, I didn't realize that. And my husband calls and says, "Get over here, you have orders." And I'm like, "You're lying." And he's like, "No, get over here for real." And so I walk across the street tipsily, if I must admit. And this moment defined everything for me. He's holding these paper tickets, and he says, "Get to painting." We had these orders, through paper tickets, and he had a whole stack of them. And I just looked at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Get to painting." And in that moment, it was like I was flat on the bottom, so done, right? Like feeling like there was no hope. And it was like in that moment, God basically scooped me off the ground and said, "Not only will you be able to do what you love forever, but you're going to be able to do this and make money." And I just went from this place of such darkness and sadness to, it's going to be okay. And God's got me. He's got a plan. And I painted happily, laughing, and just a little bit tipsy that night painting. But I went on to paint over 1,000 hand painted surfboards, this exact size, just like this, custom made for each person. Sold over 1,000 in under 2 months, working 12-hour days, sometimes 16, 18-hour days. But I knew every $20 surfboard I sold, which now would definitely raise the price, but back then I didn't know. I would custom make them. Every $20 surfboard sold, I knew it was a chance to change my family. I knew it was a chance at a better life. And so that just gave me so much possibility. So as weird as it sounds, looking back, that bankruptcy was one of the best things I learned. And I'm so grateful for learning it when I did, before I turned 30. Learning that lesson of entrepreneurship, learning that there's always a way out, learning that God's got our back, learning that there's a bigger picture at play. And if I would have gone through that experience, there's no way I would have been prepared to, teach you in Paint Pretty headquarters, or take that risk to start, a full-time paint party business, which led to, many of in Paint Party headquarters. So it's just amazing when you can take a step back and look and go, wow, kind of like this painting, we're blinging it, right? It's like God has his painting and we're his painting. And every once in a while we have a hard time and we may be struggling as we're going through it. And then he's like, let's just bling it up. And he makes it beautiful and he makes it pretty, even though we may have messed it all up. And I think it's just so, so powerful what can happen. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get totally on that subject, but hopefully it helped you. If you haven't heard that story before, maybe it helped you. Okay, so I just kind of went crazy. I had some fun. I blinked it up. There's all other kinds of stuff you can do. I'm actually going to add just a little hint of this diamond type dust, just because I can't help myself. So in a paint party setting, I would probably be cautious of this because this is kind of expensive if you're doing a really big group. But another thing to think about, and again, always being, creative and business minded, you could always say, you could charge $2 more, for example, and that's going to cover the cost of something that's a little bit more expensive. I know we have people who, do door hangers, and they may offer, for example, an upgrade on a bow for a door hanger. I know a lot of people like to bling out there. I'm just getting that to unstick. I know a lot of people like to upgrade their door hangers with a really pretty bow. Well, if you had really pretty ribbon and bows that you could do that with, you could upgrade that. And then that could be something that would allow like $5 extra. And then it's not costing you anymore, but it's also offering a service. Let me see if I can get this on here. I gotta find my Elmer's glue. You can use this with Elmer's glue too. I just can't find my Elmer's glue. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I'm so sorry. Okay, so I found another glue that works well too. I can't find my Elmer's, which would be fine. This is stick fast. This works well for door hanger type stuff. But what I'm going to do is put it on there, and then I'm actually going to take a paper towel and just kind of smear it a little bit, because I want it sticks really fast, but I want it to have more of a abstract feel versus a okay, so now we have a little bit there. And now I want to grab maybe a little bit up top too. Maybe a little bit right here. So I'm just putting a little bit of that stick fast, taking this and rubbing it in just a smidge, and then adding a little bit to it. So we're just kind of blinging it out. All right, so you can see in a paint party setting how this could go south real fast. But I wanted to show you, just maybe even for your own personal touch, if you want to bling it and add a lot more glitter and glue, you can. Okay. All right, so now what we need to do is get rid of the excess. So let me grab a plate. Let me see if this is going to work. Oh man, it got all up in my laptop. Oops. All right, we're just gonna do it real fast, right? Let me see. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this. Let me see. I'm just gonna do it. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay, we blinged it. Another fun thing, see how that's kind of got more of a shape to it? Another fun thing we could do is add a little bit more in here, because blinging is really fun. So of course I gotta make, now I'm just wanting to make a mess. So now I'm in it to make a huge mess. So this is as long as I do the glitter up here, Bobby's okay. But once the glitter starts leaving the art studio area, he starts to freak out. I gotta be a little cautious and respectful of my husband's wishes. He's pretty much let me paint on everything and anything we've ever owned. So he's very, very supportive of what I do. But when I start getting glitter out, I am like a 4-year-old, and I just have so much fun. And the next thing you know, I've done that. And then There's glitter in the laptop. I'm trying to whisper it. It's everywhere. Okay, so this is kind of blinging it. So now when you look at it, you have all these fun textures and excitement. So if you have not seen the earlier videos, I want you to go ahead and go to paintpartycow.com, grab the free tracer, and then go ahead and purchase the videos. You're not going to regret it. I walked through over 10 videos of all fun stuff that you can use and do with this. It's so, so cool. So I'm excited to teach you more. And if you want to know about Paint Party Headquarters, it'll also tell you more about that as well. So I hope you enjoyed this. And let me show you a little bit more up close. So you can see the metallic there, the blinging. How fun is that? And then I got crazy and glittered this cow. So let me see. See how when it moves? So, oh, that was my stomach growling. Man, I'm hungry. All right, so you can see how it moves and how much fun that's gonna look in the house. Think if you did this in different colors too. All right, go to paintpartycow.com to get your tracer.